some of you in this room know what this office is. This is Brett's office. So every Wednesday at 12:30, I have a supervision meeting with Brett. And about a year ago, I sat in the right chair there and I looked at Brett and I said, Brett, as a leader of leaders in the company, there are some things I know have an impact on the company. And I know I do them well, mostly. And then there are some other things that I know I'm doing, but I just don't know if it's having an impact on the company or not. And Brett looked at me, it took him about 2 seconds, and he said, you have some of the most important relationships in the company. And I said, okay. It was a wise statement. I kind of walked out and I said, okay, that's great. And I didn't really get it until a few months ago. This is Carl, and Carl came to do a 2-day presentation with us a few months ago. And the first thing we did is we went over our business results. And I'm like, all right, this makes sense, I get it. And then we came onto this list that May just showed you a few moments ago. So the one I'm gonna highlight, it's highlighted, is relationships. And my aha moment is when Dr. Binder said, a relationship is an output. And I was like, okay, and then I kind of tied it back to what Brett had said to me back last summer, and it started to kind of make some sense. I'm like, all right, well, what does that mean for me? So then I did a customer diagram just like May did there, and so I have some different people on my customer diagram. I'm also a clinician, so I work with some families. I report to our admin team, CMOs in a different capacity. I do some things for the company, for the public. So some of these like hacking clinical YouTube videos, I have a big part in that. And then I also have people I mentor. And as I was doing my customer diagram, I realized that that relationship piece just kept coming back all over the place. And so this intangible thing that Brett had talked to me about last summer became quite tangible. And now I'm like, okay, this is actually really important. These relationships I have are just massive. And how massive are they? Well, here's my output, and now, like Dr. Binder said, we're gonna kind of go right to left here. Let's take a look, let's do this first. What's the criteria for a good relationship? And it may vary for you. I wrote some things down for me: mutual respect, trust, honesty, mutual compromise, appreciation, shared values. I shared this list with my wife before the presentation, and she kind of gave me that look, like appreciation, maybe some flowers every once in a while, so gotta kind of work on that. But we went to the business results, and I quickly realized that when I have good relationships, I have better employee engagement, okay? The extra text message, the extra call, getting to the meeting 5 minutes early and making eye contact with somebody I haven't met in a while keeps that employee engaged. And then when May said a few minutes ago, they stay. So when they get one of those 100 emails in your, we're looking for this company, come work for us, we have a sign-on bonus, they don't look at that because they're engaged and they stay. Quality. When I have good relationships with our clinicians and our funders, the quality improves. We have leadership meetings. When I have good relationships with the people who run those meetings, the quality of our organization is better. Even client progress. I did a call with Carl a few weeks ago, and I was talking to him about a relationship I have with one of my clients. And they've been a client of mine for about 3 years, and I realized something really massive happened. Our relationship has had some ups and downs, and recently it's gotten a lot better. And I received a text message from this family member, and they said, Pierre, we're really struggling with something right now. Do you have a research article you can share with me on this topic? And I kind of put the text aside. I'm like, wait a minute, she just asked me for a research article because she may have in the past said, hey, I just spoke to this person from another field and they said I should do this. And the quality of that relationship, she trusts me. And so she said, is there something behavior analytic that you can recommend? That's massive for client progress. I can now not waste a month arguing back and forth about why, maybe this is a good idea or not a good idea. I can now say, yes, I've got an article, let's talk about it on Monday.
In order for people to feel good about their job and day-to-day making a difference, they do have to feel like they're constantly making progress. So I think there's ways that you can gamify your organization's progress and we created this program which is called Delta 1, and they start on level 10 and they go to 9, 8, 7, 6 up to level 1. It's a way for people to feel that they're making progress, because you showed by a show of hands, you hear a lot of people leaving because they feel like they can't move up or make progress. So people are used to constantly wanting to feel that they're making progress, and one way of doing it is a system where you create levels. People don't necessarily, they get bonuses like $100 per level, but it's not that they care about. They care about the value that they felt from social recognition from other people, the internal, if that is a word. My mentor would kill me for saying the internal, intrinsic, but it's rewarding to feel that you're making progress in itself. Let's look at another one. Number of employees satisfied with their mentor. Joe Kondorski is our executive director here somewhere, and with this, it's just a weekly survey we do, and it's behaviorally anchored. So this is an important thing, I think, for retention. I think what contributes to the low 5% turnover is the fact that every single week they have to list the level of support they're getting upwards. They have to list the level of support they're getting from the mentor, but not just a fuzzy, 1 through 5. I feel 5's great, 1 sucks. It's actually behaviorally anchored. If they rate a 5 for their mentor support, a 5 means that they saw them in person, engaged X number of times. A 1 means they didn't hear from them at all, their mentor. A 3 might mean they got an email or a text, so a 1 through 5. And on this one, Joe Kondorski counts the number of employees that rated 5s. So it's a countable noun.